Hello everybody, this is Taylor Edrington with Rural Gorge Anglers in Canyon City, Colorado, the oldest fly shop and fly fishing guide service and only Orbis endorsed outfitter on the entire Arkansas River Basin. Thanks so much for viewing here today. We are in, today is the 11th of June and we're already seeing what we term our fishing in a barrel conditions on the Arkansas. That meaning edges are clearing, flows are reducing rapidly on the Arkansas Freestone. Both native flows and release at Twin Lakes and Clear Creek Reservoir are reducing day by day. Currently today, we've got 1,500 CFS at the Wellsville gauge, which is a great flow. We're going to see another 200 CFS decrease here over the next 24 to 48 hours. So by this weekend, in that June 15th, middle of June window, we're going to be right around 1,200 CFS ballpark on the Arkansas Freestone in Bighorn Canyon, and probably just under 1,000 CFS at Granite. So phenomenal conditions for this time of year. I would say we're about 2 weeks ahead of schedule. And what we expect to see through the remainder of June and into the first few weeks of July are phenomenal conditions, a lot of release water, but really not a whole lot of snow melt left, and clear edges and happy fish. Man, this fishing in a barrel time period can be one of the most exciting time periods to fish this river because all of the fish are on the edges from runoff. What happens at big water, fish move to the edges, and then after runoff in that post-runoff window, the edges clear first. Also, what's going on at that point in time is what? Golden stoneflies are beginning to hatch. Where do they hatch? On the edge. It's perfect. So, right now, we've got clearing edges. We've got 1 to 2 feet of visibility on the edges. Depending on where you're at. Even in Canyon City here this morning, I had over 18 inches of visibility on the edge, with great reports the last 2 or 3 days in Canyon City of people catching some nice fish on the edges. So we expect for June to be fantastic, the remainder of June, the last 2 weeks of June, as well as the first few weeks of July, which are always pretty gangbuster on this river. Flows are still over 1,000 CFS. So we want you wading the edges, not really, wading where you can. There will be no crossing the river on foot. Floating is a great opportunity as well, so we can bang those edges from the boat. But wading is a great way to do it. We're just walking the edge. We're wet wading. We're in and out of the water. And again, it's an exceptional opportunity because all of the fish are against the edges. Now, once the entire river begins to clear and drop below 1,000 CFS, fish begin to spread out. So our window of time for that fishing in what we term fishing in a barrel is relatively short, and this year may be even shorter because we're going to see flows really fall pretty rapidly, most likely just because there is no snow left up high. Take advantage of that fishing in a barrel, but as we move into July, fishing will remain exceptional. Just look for fish to be more spread out. Pocket water, hydraulic water, that's where fish like to live in the summer when it's a little bit hotter. They need that break also when the sun's high. They want to be in that hydraulic foam, foam on the surface, that hydraulic, riffle water as well, just to be away from predators. So as far as the way we fish this, again, just want to reiterate that it's on the edges. Most of the fish are on the edges. So when you're wading, we're just moving on upriver. Usually I like to fish from the bottom up, pick out a section, fish the edges. First 6 to 10 feet is where most of the fish are going to be. A lot of fish will be real close, 2-3 feet from the edge, behind boulders, in front of boulders, on current seams, that's where you're going to find a lot of fish. And so work up, and then I like to do that with a dry or a dry dropper rig. Low light conditions, morning, evenings, best time to fish a single dry, big dry, and then dry dropper as the day progresses and the sun gets higher. Fish aren't going to commit to the dry as much. We're talking stonefly dries, hoppers. We're going to take a look at some patterns here in a second. I'll fish up doing that, then I'll throw a streamer on and I'll work back. When I work the streamer back, I'm going to throw into the current tongue and let it swing against that bank that I fished going up. Strip back, strip, 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 take a few steps down, do it all over again. Okay, so that's basic concept of how to do that. There will be some nymphing involved. If it's a real bright sunny day, sometimes you need to nymph. Those fish are going to push out from the edge a little bit on those brighter days just to find some cover. They're eating, worms and rubber leg stones and all kinds of different stuff from that perspective. So let's go take a peek at some patterns, some choice guide patterns here at the Fly Shop. Of course, all of these are available online at our web store at www.royalgorgeanglers.com. So maybe take some notes down, grab a few, put them in your cart online, or swing by the Fly Shop. We are open 8 to 5, Monday through Saturday, and Sunday 8 to noon for in-store shopping now. Let's take a peek. Okay, folks, so like I mentioned, a lot of big flies now. We came from the springtime where it's a lot of small stuff, BWOs, small caddis, midges, stuff like that. And man, when we get into post runoff and fishing a barrel and move through the month of July, man, it is big bugs and we love it, right? Let's first kind of go back to taking a look at our stonefly dries. I'm going to show you two different colored chubby Chernobyls. This is a fantastic fly. This is black foam tan body and then tan foam gold body. Our golden stoneflies are kind of that tannish to gold color. Those are the two chubbies. Size 8 to 12 is what I like there. This is called a true golden stone. I love this fly. It's got that nice wing. This is a Montana Fly Company pattern, very visible. The key to these three flies, so visible with that big poly yarn wing. Okay. Then we've got Charlie Craven's Morningwood Stone, which is just a tried and true fantastic fly. So pool toy or, any just generic attractor fly, Amy's Ant, stuff like that. Those are great as well right now. Into the hopper category, I do like green and tan right now. Okay, this is called a beefcake hopper. That's one of our favorites. Charlie Boy hopper, this is a tan version, but green's great as well too. Yellow's good. Size, 8 to 14 on our hoppers right now. Looking at our hatch matchers, we've got Yellow Sally's kicking around, and will be just that will be building through the month of June into July and into August. This is called a Headlight Sally. This is called a Half Down Sally, little foam body Sally dry here. So both adult patterns. Pale Morning Duns, those are going to be our mayflies that are hatching a lot during this time period. And this is Morish's Mayday PMD. And then our Split Flag PMD here is one of my tried and true, just great breadwinner patterns. Lots of caddis during this time period. Olive and tan caddis for the most part. This is a Better Foam, Larry Kingery's Better Foam caddis. Olive, parachute olive caddis there as well. That's Schroeder's. Now, when we're nymphing, I do want to take a moment to talk to you about lead flies, in a double nymph rig, or if you're a Euro nympher, your point fly. Rubber leg stones are hard to beat during this time period. They get fish's attention, they're visible, and with all the stoneflies crawling to the edge to hatch right now, just a great pattern. This is a 20 bomb, Frank Smethurst pattern, but rubber leg stones in general. With elevated flows, but flows coming down, fish are really looking at worm patterns as well. So just keep in mind those are both great lead flies on a double nymph rig or point flies for a Euro rig. You can tell this worm pattern's tied on a jig hook, so that's a Euro specific fly there. For droppers, on dry dropper rigs, what we need to look at are, again, yellow sallies, pale morning duns, caddis, and maybe a few attractor patterns. This is the matte demon stone, fantastic fly, and yellow sally imitation, size 16. Tried and true iron sally right here, just fantastic fly, size 14, 16, and I fish it in a 12. 2 is a lead fly and a nymph rig. PMD, this is Mike Mercer's micro mayfly in that gold body for a pale morning dun. Biot body, this is Larry Kingery's Biot PMD, one of my favorites, tungsten bead. In the caddis category, the hair copper right here, this is just a good crossover attractor pattern with a caddis body. A lot of caddis larvae kicking around as well. Your chartreuse copper john with a rubber leg version, just a great fly to have in your box right now. A couple of attractor flies just to point out, one of my favorites throughout the summer season, Guide's Choice Hare's Ear. Tungsten bead, hard to beat, size 12, 14, and 16. This is also a great attractor pattern that just fishes really well through the summer. It's a copper john pheasant tail version. This is kind of a newer pattern, but one we really love this time period. Now, don't forget your streamers. Like I said, good to fish down or out of a boat just to hammer the shoreline. As water's still a little tinted, we're looking at contrast. We want black and we want purples. We've got Charlie Craven's Baby Ganga up top in a black, Kelly Gallup's Peanut Envy here in a black. Those are both tandem hook flies. Olive is a great color to have as we move through the summer. This is Kelly Gallup's Mini Dungeon here as well. Both tandem hooked flies in purple. That's a great color. And then I love to fish tandem. So bigger fly up front and then trailer fly underneath. Short drop, 4 to 6 inches max, heavy tippet. We prefer to fish a sink tip on these rigs here with our streamers, just a short sink tip. And then your trailer flies, if you're doing tandem, good one here is called a Junior Mint. This is just a kind of a leech attractor fly. And then Landon Mayer's Mini Leech in black or olive. Great way to go as a trailer. And the whole idea is we use this big attractor fly to pull the fish off the bank. A lot of times you get follows, but not commitments to these big flies. Many times they do eat the big one. But if you're running a trailer on that tandem rig, they really like to commit to that. Okay, so there's a look at what we would term our quote-unquote guide box as we move through June and through July into what we term the prime summer season on the Arkansas River Freestone. Okay, guys, so I hope that gives you a great idea of what you need to be focusing on pattern-wise as we move into the summer season on the Arkansas Basin. Just an exciting time to be on this river. The Arkansas tailwater is still fishing lights out, gin clear, flows will be elevated a little bit too much to wade as we move through the next few weeks, but we'll get back into wade territory. And of course, we're running our very exclusive float program on that section right now, which has just been a lot of fun, a lot of big fish kicking around down there. So the Arkansas River Freestone will really be coming into its prime here. Like I said, over the next few days, we're going to bump down most likely, into the 1200 CFS range. We may very well be in the 1000 CFS range in Bighorn Canyon by this weekend, which is kind of moving into that June 15th window. Again, about 2 weeks ahead of schedule on all of these conditions, but very minimal snowpack at the headwater here as we moved into runoff, and it burned really quickly with rain and warm conditions. But Phenomenal conditions on the Arkansas Basin right now. Man, we are pumped about that. It should be just a fantastic fishing season. Like I said, great reports already from the Canyon City area, Lower Bighorn Sheep Canyon, Upper Bighorn Sheep Canyon, and seeing some phenomenal conditions on the Upper Basin from Salida to the headwater as well. Browns Canyon will be a phenomenal option as flows get lower and lower. And of course, some great fishing at the headwater at Hayden Meadows and that Cobe area or Granite area as flows get lower. Looking forward to a great summer season, and we hope that you stop by here at the Fly Shop to see us. In-store shopping is available. We're also doing curbside pickup. We're also doing free local delivery and free shipping over $50, priority shipping 2 to 3 days anywhere in the U.S. We want to take just a quick moment to say thank you to all of you who supported us through the stay-at-home window in Colorado when the Fly Shop was closed and we were operating only our web store. Man, thank you so much for everyone who reached out, placed an order online, a fly order, a new fly rod, what have you. Thank you for the support, and thank you for supporting our guide team, pre-booking a trip, what have you. Now we're obviously off and running and have been guiding for over a month now, and busy on that front. But thank you so much for supporting our guides in a moment that was very, very stressful for them. We very much appreciate that. Kind of back to normal now. We've got one active COVID case in the entirety of Fremont County. Over 60,000 residents in Fremont County, one active case. So things are looking pretty positive. We're of course in the Fly Shop taking things very slowly, safe on guide trips. We've got our COVID guidelines, so very, very safety minded and health minded as it pertains to COVID. So if you're hesitant about taking a guide trip or coming to the Fly Shop, please know that we've got your back. We are taking it very, very seriously, but at the same point in time, get out on the river and have a great time. Get outdoors, enjoy. We're moving into the fantastic summer season in Colorado. Go enjoy the Arkansas Basin, the South Platte, backcountry venues, high mountain lakes, so on and so forth. And if you have any questions, please call us, 888-994-6743, extension 1 for the Fly Shop, extension 2 for the guide office. We've got our chat line at www.royalgorgeanglers.com, and we've also, of course, are available via email at info@royalgorgeanglers.com. Thanks so much for viewing today. Have a great summer season out there. And if we can be of any assistance, please let us know.